My name is WANLY FLOREXILE, and I'm a filmmaker. Also an actor, writer, producer, and director. No, I was actually born in Haiti, and I came in America in '88, so back in the days. The thing is, when I was in Haiti, you know, both my parents was already in the States. One day my grandmother said, you're leaving in 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, and that was it. I think Brooklyn could help artists by the fact that it's so diverse. If you're into films like myself, or if you're into any art, it's the place to be. I always wondered like how movies get made. It was something about making a film. It was just, I wanted to know what happened, who is the director, who is the producer, and what are all these names. Like, even after a movie's done, I'm always going back to the credits, looking at it like, I need to be part of this. Well, really, I never really had a formal training, because the thing is, back in the day, it was so hard. Like, if you didn't have like funds, if you didn't have some kind of money, somebody backing you up, you could only dream about making a movie. Without my wife, nothing would have happened, because she's the photographer that had the camera that I utilized to film my first 2 movies. You know, I watched this movie on Netflix, actually, this movie called Bro. It was an independent film, but just watching the movie, it was so basic, and I was like, you know what? I could do this. You know, I looked at filmmakers like Roberto Rodriguez, Spike Lee, of course. I started going to YouTube. I started Googling, reading a couple books, how to be a filmmaker. It basically gave me the knowledge I know. Like, my first film, it was basic. It was about a real estate guy, because I'm into real estate. So basically, write based on your resources. Something that can capture and keep people in tune. So that's what I did. And then we did my next film, which was Unlucky. Brooklyn Fever was actually my favorite movie to this date.
Residents are outraged that NYPD has done virtually nothing to stop the rash of murders of prostitutes and homeless people in this area and in Brooklyn.
And that one's it's a horror thriller. I was actually driving around, and there was this guy going around Brooklyn who just stabbing young girls. And then the thought came to my mind. I was like, I pulled over and I wrote the first, like, maybe 6 pages. This one was nominated at the Hip Hop Film Festival for Best Director, and I didn't win that year, but I was happy I was nominated. And then my last film that we just shot, The Consequence, when I went back to my hometown, we actually filmed a couple scenes there, and then the people were so impressed. The fact that no filmmakers ever went back and shot a film. It's actually a little remote town in M.a.d.e, Haiti. And then me and my son, we was looking at the school where we was filming at, and my son was like, Daddy, that's how the school is? And it was basically water coming down the roof and everything. And at that point, I spoke to my uncle, and, you know, and we was like, you know what, we need to adopt this school. So they basically named the school after my company, Florex School Academy. So I'm grateful for that. My hometown, M.a.d.e. So this newspaper in Europe wrote about me, The Guardian. And ever since that happened, my numbers, the movies that I have on Prime, the numbers kind of actually skyrocketed. So at the end of the day, the more popularity you get, the better for you. So, you know, independent, I'm fine. I have my core audience, but if I could get to the bigger level, I'm ready for it. My favorite place to eat in Brooklyn is a little restaurant on Avenue L. It's called La Caille. It's a Haitian restaurant that serves Haitian food, rice and beans, legumes, sauce pois. Everywhere else, rice is like a side dish, but for us, it's the main dish. Man, I love everything about Brooklyn. Brooklyn is very diverse. I love it. I like that. In Brooklyn, they said a tree grows in Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn has everything that we need.